Hi guys, welcome to San Cristobal in the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador. If you watched the last video, you're probably wondering what I'm doing here because the plan changed, but I will get to that. Before I forget, a couple side notes, things I learned again along the way that I forgot. So for New Year's, they have a similar celebration here as they do in Panama. So if you had watched the videos back then, I had mentioned how they bring in the new year at midnight by like burning these dolls, kind of like Burning Man style. So they also do that here. But then I also heard that, I don't know if everyone does this, but some guys dress up kind of in drag or in women's clothes. I don't know, I found that interesting. Anyways, the way that they celebrate New Year's here. Another thing that I learned, which I was really surprised about, so apparently the LGBT community in Ecuador, at least, has been actually trying to change the Spanish language to make it gender neutral. So if you know anything about Spanish, other Romance languages, there's like masculine and feminine words, etc. So they're actually trying to change that. Don't see that happening, but when I heard that, I was still like, whoa, pretty surprised. So interesting couple side notes. Okay, so last I spoke to you, when was that? Last I spoke to you guys, I had gone to the Teleférico, and later that day I did end up meeting up with a girl I ran into that I met in Colombia. So I met up with her and her dad, who was visiting at this hostel they're staying at. It's a really cool area. Anyways, just hung out for a bit, caught up, had vino hervido, which is boiled wine, similar to what they drink in Germany and other places in Europe. Warm wine, usually they drink it over the holidays. Anyways, tried that out. And so the next day, the plan was to go to Quilotoa Loop, if you guys remember that. So I literally like woke up the next day, and a friend of mine that I used to work with in Central America who's from here basically wrote me and was like, that route that you take to get there is closed off. Basically there's people protesting and you can't go that way. So I wouldn't say it's impossible to get there, but it would be really difficult. You'd have to go completely out of the way. Who knows how many buses you need to take. So I was trying to think of what else to do. Anyways, so didn't want to like spend forever in Quito because there's other stuff I still want to be seeing and not missing out on. So I was looking into Galapagos, which I was already thinking about, and just decided to get a ticket from Quito instead of possibly going later from Guayaquil. So that gets me to where I am now. However, since I had an extra day that I ended up staying in Quito, I did get to go to Mitad del Mundo, which is literally like where the equator line is, the middle of the world. It was actually quite big, way bigger than I thought. It's this whole area you go inside. There's several museums. There's one where it's homes like from back in the day, set up the way they used to be, made of bamboo and straw and that sort of thing. You get to see the way people used to live in Ecuador, things like that. They had a beer museum, chocolate museum, like a train museum, planetarium, all this stuff. Inside there's this actual huge monument like on the equator line. And again, they have the letters big written out, the Mitad del Mundo, like they have all over the place. So inside that monument, it's actually a museum, which is kind of like a science museum. There's little different things you can try as far as like the way things work different on the equator. One of the little experiments that you can try outside the monument, but basically, I don't remember all the details, but there's this thing with a nail and you try to balance an egg on it. I tried it was pretty impossible to me. I think the guy that worked there later came over and like showed us and was able to do it. I have no idea how. Somehow balance the egg on a nail. And that has to do with something about being on the equator because everything is different. So anyways, it was really interesting getting to check that out. They actually, I learned and still do, maybe it depends on the area, eat guinea pig here. So I did see one roasting. And then later in one of those little old typical homes, there were like tons of guinea pigs. So kind of sad because they're super cute and you know what's coming to them. I also actually tried that day empanadas de verde, which I didn't know what that was. But verde apparently is plátanos, plantains. So that's another common thing we eat here, plantains and queso, cheese, and empanadas. So anyways, I got to check that out at least the last day I was in Quito, so I'm glad I got to do that. And then flew out here today. I am staying on San Cristóbal Island. Super expensive coming out here. You literally need to pay $120 like just to exit the airport and enter the airport here. That's in addition to expensive flights, and tours are $100 to $200 something dollars. So super expensive, but everyone said it was worth it, so I had to come out here. Today's been a pretty chill day so far, but it's already been pretty cool. I walked around the town a little bit. I'm couch surfing here, so I had lunch with my host. Good typical food, and super cheap. And anyways, walked around a little bit, walked by Playa one of the beaches, and now I'm at Playa Carola. Yeah, I'm at a lighthouse right now on top. I'll show you the views in a second. So it's been pretty cool so far. Like, Galapagos are known for all of the animals you see here that you don't see anywhere else in the world. So already today I went swimming in the beach behind me. Tons of rocks, which sucks, and it's super shallow. However, you can do snorkeling there. I didn't have anything. A bunch of other people did though, and someone ended up lending me their snorkel because they're like, there's a huge turtle over there, lend me their mask. So anyways, I got to see this turtle, which was ginormous, really cool, and literally was like right next to me, in super shallow water. So I've seen turtles before snorkeling, diving, but I was surprised how shallow it was, the water, like where it was. Lots of cool and different colorful fish. There are these black ones that look like they have yellow lips and like glowing blue eyes, really pretty. Have seen iguanas on the beach, seals, tons of crabs, like really red crabs. So it's already been pretty awesome, and I'm just checking out like one beach so far. And we'll see what happens the next few days. I'm staying here 5 days total because I was told that's the minimum you should stay. You shouldn't stay anything less because there's so much to do. So we'll see what comes up next. Let me show you the views right now. Sunset's coming up soon, so pretty nice out here. Nice sun. The guys doing stand-up paddle there, and there was a surfer too. I don't know where he went. I wish I had a board. Let's see him go. Or not. Anyways, so that's like the main city back there, which is also called San Cristóbal. And that is the beach, Playa Carola. And then you can see back that way it continues. And yeah, pretty much it. Pretty nice though. I was planning on like walking to another beach past there, but just ended up walking around in the rocks and checking out some of the animals. I think I saw like the skeleton of a blowfish. That's what it looked like. Anyways, so lots to see here. It's been super cool so far. Looking forward to what comes up next, and I will keep you posted. Bye.